the purpose of TiE's existence is to ensure and foster networking and entrepreneurship. So what I would like to do is to ensure that Mr. Prasad says a few words about the kind of products and services they do. Those who are long-time TiE members are very familiar with Mr. Prasad, but CAMS as an organization is quite interesting. I was looking at the Wikipedia, and Computer Age Management Service, or CAMS as we all know, has a share of over 60% of assets under management. The company was incorporated in 1988. CAMS is an institutionally owned company with shareholders like NSE Strategic Investment Corporation, subsidiary of National Stock Exchange Limited, HDFC Group, and Axis. CAMS has been a great supporter and sponsor of key events like this FinTech events, like PayPal and few of our colleagues. And they also have few more interesting announcements to come. I will actually defer it later. Sri N. Koteswara Prasad, or Prasad as we know, known to all of the industry veterans and TiE members, and is a graduate in mechanical engineering BTech from IIT BHU, Varanasi, and a postgraduate in business management from IIM Calcutta, a very dynamic combination. Mr. Prasad is presently the president and CEO of CAMS Private Limited. Mr. Prasad joined CAMS after a 20-year stint with HUL to lead the mutual fund operations and investor services. More recently, he has steered the company in its diversification strategy across BFSI segments. He took charge as president and CEO in April 2010. May I now invite Mr. Prasad to say a few words on how CAMS is a living example of leveraging Aadhaar that was so nicely explained by Mr. Ramesh Vijayakumar. And the startups here, I'm sure you would love to actually meet with CAMS and Ramesh. Some of their colleagues are also here, and they would be available for you to talk later on. Now, please welcome Mr. Prasad to the stage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you, TiE. After the long presentation on the NPCI and how they have transformed the payments world, as we used to know when we started banking and financial services activities, I just want to add a little information about my company and the opportunities that we see in the market. And there are many entrepreneurs who are out here, and we look forward to sort of having engagement with them as we go along. Our company, Computer Age Management Services, better known as CAMS, is actually a IT-enabled service provider to several segments of the financial markets. We service mutual funds, venture capital firms, insurance companies, banks, and NBFCs. Now, our primary business continues to be investor servicing, which is predominantly focused on the mutual fund industry, and we have been associated with this industry for more than 2 decades. Like every company, we also have a business purpose, and this is something that I want to share with you because this is something that inspires me to go to work every day. When we see ourselves as to what is the business that we are conducting, we are basically serving the investors. And the real purpose that I see in our business is that we are actually trying to transform the Indian saver. And Indians, mind you, are great savers. In the entire world, you find that Indians are the greatest savers. And our purpose is basically to convert these savers into investors. And thereafter provide them the life cycle services throughout their investing cycle. Why is this a purpose and why is this also a big opportunity for the country is what I want to allude to. Now, India is considered to be one of the growth economies, and especially in the slowing world economic growth, people say that it's the emerging markets which are going to be the growth drivers. And within the emerging markets, India is obviously the leading one, especially for the last 2 years. Our GDP growth has been the highest, even beating China. We have favorable demographics. We have a huge unsatiated demand in our country. Anything that you look at, any product category, there is a huge amount of demand potential. And we have a government which is highly focused in terms of leveraging these secular opportunities that are available for the country, in terms of initiating the policy measures, in terms of initiating the legislative changes, which are all going to put our economy into a higher growth trajectory. And we read almost every day how the government is striving to put India on the growth map of beyond 7.5% that we have been experiencing for the last few years to something in the 2-digit range. There are many things that are happening in the government side, and more relevant to the financial services sector is what I want to focus on. You find that in the last 2 years particularly, there is a concerted effort on the part of the government to actually drive the habit of savings from physical savings to financial savings. And this is secular. This is in every segment of the financial services. And the government has taken many, many initiatives in this area. They have done away with the concept of assured high return, sovereign guaranteed saving products. They are all market linked now, in a manner of speaking, because even your PPF is going to be repriced, or the interest is going to be announced every quarter. The regulators who control the various financial sector segments, they are all working in a concerted fashion to create financial awareness, to create education about the financial products, and to bring the huge mass of Indians into the financial products categories. Not only that, they are also creating new categories. There are many exciting categories which have just been sort of launched or approved. You have the real estate investment trusts, you have infrastructure investment trusts, you have Indian own category of hedge funds which have just been launched and approved. Now these are exciting times. And you also have the regulatory blessings in terms of making it easier. A long time ago when we had to open a bank account, for example, when we went to college, it was a very complex process. You needed a photograph, you need a long form, you need to sign many things, etc. And today, in securities market, you can actually set up a mutual fund account without being present in front of an office of a mutual fund or a registrar like CAMS. You can do it from wherever you are, and you can do it in a presenceless and also paperless fashion. And you can start transacting right away. Your account is set up in a matter of minutes. Excepting that there is a concept of NAV which comes at 9 p.m. every day, and that's what is used for converting into units. So these are some of the changes which are actually holding a huge and enormous amount of potential. Let me also talk about some of the new categories of institutions that are being approved, that are also being promoted and propagated. We did not know about the microfinance industry till maybe a decade ago, and we are seeing that that's one of the highest growth sectors within the financial services. Now you have the new categories of payment bank, you have small bank, and we are going to be seeing a lot of exciting initiatives and consumer-centric offerings from all of these. And payment wallets, for example, over a period of time, they have grown to such an extent that today actually they have much larger segment of customers than the banks. Even though banks are generational products, our grandfathers and fathers had the bank accounts. But the payment wallet, which is a new category, has actually caught the attention of so many Indians and has become very, very large. India as a growth economy needs capital. And if you look at an investor from a micro perspective of let's say a salaried employee, he is already challenged to meet his financial objectives, financial goals, take care of his family needs, and he has got to take care of his post-retirement needs in an inflationary environment, in an environment where we are finding that for example the healthcare costs, they grow at a rapid rate, probably twice the inflation rate. How does he do it? Especially in an environment where you have reducing interest rates and so on and so forth. There are many products which have actually demonstrated that over a period of a decade, 2 decades, even 3 decades, which have returned beyond the inflation, real positive returns to the investors. And these real positive returns have been almost of the order of 9, 10, 11, 12%. And that is the opportunity which the Indian consumer is currently not utilizing. And if you look at the statistics, India has got about 133 crore population, this is an estimate. And we had all of 35 crore bank accounts. Till the new government said that we must have something called a Jan Dhan account. And in a short span of less than a year or so, they opened another 22 crore Jan Dhan accounts. Even with the 22 crores, we are still talking about 57 crore accounts, and deduplicate those accounts because a lot of people sitting in this room must be having multiple bank accounts. The real population is still not in that financial inclusion agenda. There is still a big opportunity out there. Same thing applies to life insurance. less than 35 crore policies, again, the same thing of, people having multiple life insurance policies, mostly for tax savings and so on and so forth. And if you look at mutual funds, which is our primary category, it's less than 5 crore mutual fund accounts. And if you deduplicate, it's much smaller population. So we have a situation where there is a opportunity for all of us, all the financial institutions, the regulators, the government, ourselves included, and more importantly, the breed of entrepreneurs, to create this habit of converting the savings into investments. And these investments, if they are channeled into growth investments for the economy, it's possible for us to create a virtuous growth cycle which can actually put India on a tremendous growth path, which we would all be proud of in the decades to come. And that is the opportunity that excites us. That's the opportunity that, as a company, we really look forward to. Now, why are we interested in the entrepreneurs? Actually, our company is actually a first-generation entrepreneurial venture which started out in Chennai city. And this happened about 28 years ago. And obviously, 28 years ago, this was not the vision, perhaps, when the venture started. But over a period of time, we are happy, as part of this journey of growth with CAMS, that it has become a systemically important financial institution in the securities market in particular. And it is an institutionally owned entity. It's highly regulated and it's highly respected. It's a creation of a private sector venture which is in the space of financial infrastructure and which is serving the needs of millions of Indian investors and asset management companies and so on and so forth. So therefore, we have this great affinity to entrepreneurs. Today, we are a regulated institution and we have to, conduct our business in a highly regulated fashion with a lot of oversight and so on and so forth. But we still respect the entrepreneurial spirit and the entrepreneurial spirit which really can leverage this growth opportunity that is available in the market in terms of converting these household savings into investments. And we are keen to engage with the entrepreneurs. We are keen to support them. Our management would be available to you to share our knowledge, our experience. We can mentor, we can assist you. We have tremendous amount of linkages in the entire financial ecosystem in India, and we can connect you with the various counterparties who are in the financial ecosystem. And if there are some ventures which are aligned to our own business purpose, we would also be happy to associate with you in the form of financial investments. So we look forward to entrepreneurs coming out with these bright ideas in terms of seizing this growth opportunity that lies ahead of the country, and we look forward to engaging with them. You can reach out through TiE Chennai, you can reach out through any other forum that you feel is appropriate, or you can directly even reach out to us. And that is the real opportunity that we want to support and pursue. Lastly, I want to thank TiE Chennai and the special interest group on the financial FinTech category and all the attendees for your valuable time and participation in this event. Thank you very much.